We always say the gospel greats, the greatest songs about the greatest message, the gospel, and really that is the key.
No, I didn't. I really had no idea. Anything I've ever started is because I felt like I should start it. And I felt like I should start the Gospel Greats program back in 1980. And I did that, and it has just continued all of these years. I think the Lord blessed it because we were doing what we were supposed to be doing. The No, I did not have any idea that it would have the impact that it has had over the years. But I'm glad it has had that impact. At least this is what I'm told by other people, that there is an impact for the music, for the artists. Artists frequently say you have no idea the impact of having them on the program had for them in terms of people calling and getting in touch with the groups and the artists involved, especially newer groups that are coming along when we introduce them on an artist spotlight segment or something to that nature. It's just amazing to me to see that, and of course it's very reassuring that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. For me personally, I think it has been a wonderful opportunity to share the gospel through the music, through the program, through any of those little one-line comments that I have sometimes following a song. My dad was a pastor, and of course, in a more traditional sense, he pastored a church and got the gospel out that way. But I think my blessing has been, the blessing to me, has been to be able to share the gospel in a manner, using a medium, using music that I love. And I couldn't be more blessed when it comes to that. Especially as I look back at the effect it's had over the years, and we talked a little bit about that. I just feel very, very blessed. I think it's everyone's prayer to say, Lord, use me and show me how to be most effective in what you want me to do. And I feel he's answered that prayer in my life.
The biggest impact from the Gospel Greats is that I met Paul Heil. And obviously that was a big impact. So we got to say that up front. But the other thing has been the people that we've met. I've always been a fan of gospel music. So long before I knew Paul Heil, I was a fan of gospel music. In fact, I would schedule myself at 5 p.m. on Saturday evening to listen to the Gospel Greats. So that tells you I'm a big fan and had an impact on me before I knew Paul. But the people, a couple stories. I met Jake Hess, and he wonderful, gracious gentleman. When I met him, someone told me, "Hello, Sheila, this is Jake Hess." And I said, "Hi, Jake." And I went to introduce myself, and he said, "You don't have to tell me who you are. I know who you are." And I was just impressed that someone who I admired so much would say, no, I know you. You don't have to bother. That was neat. I remember the first time that Bill Gaither called our house. And Paul's mom happened to answer the phone. And she came to me and said, "Sheila, there's this guy on the phone who says he's Bill Gaither." And I said, "He probably is." And she said, "Why would he be calling you?" And I said, "Well, because of the program." And Paul's parents had no clue what Paul was really doing. His dad, when Paul started the Gospel Greats, his dad said, "Paul, don't you think you should get a real job to go along with this thing?" They had no clue what he was doing and what an impact it would have and how long it would last and all those kind of things. The one story that that really touches me is that artists have become our friends. And I remember Paul and I had just lost our third child. I had a miscarriage, and we had lost our third child. I was in bed, studio was downstairs, I was in bed upstairs, and Paul came to me and said, Sheila, will you talk to George Yance on the phone? Give him a call. I need to know such and such. So from my bedroom phone, I called George Yance, and we talked, and I got the information I needed. And towards the end of the conversation, George said, how are you and Paul doing? You know, just really on a personal level, and that's the kind of person he was. And I said, you know, it's been really rough. This past weekend, I miscarried, and we lost our third child. I said, and both Paul and I are just in a fog, just trying to deal with this. And he, of course, expressed sympathy, and then said, Clara is out shopping right now. She should be home in about 10 minutes. When she comes home, we're going to get down and we're going to pray for you. And I said, thank you so much. And went on, hung up and went on. And about 10 minutes later, Paul came up and said, I don't know what just happened, but the fog just seems like it's lifted. And I said, George and Clara Yance prayed for us. So one of the big impacts of being in the gospel grades, of having the gospel grades, is that we've made friends with these people who have become so important to us. They're not artists, but they're friends. The other part is the fans of gospel music, because over the years, a couple things have happened. One is that I've had the opportunity, because of the program, to counsel with a lot of people. We've been placed in a position where we can counsel. I remember one girl who was dating a non-Christian, and she said, it'll be okay because I can win him over to Christ. And I remember counseling with her and saying, you know, the Bible says you have to be in one accord, and you don't want to get in that relationship. It was probably 10 years later, I got a note from her, and I had not heard from her in between that. About 10 years later, I got a note from her saying, I'm married to a Christian man. I took your advice. Here's the letter you sent me at that time. She had kept it. She said, I carried it with me because it was my reminder. I think that shows the kind of influence that we've been able to have, but also the responsibility that places on us. And then there are other fans who have become really close friends and have become prayer partners. When I have a need that I really need prayer, they are the ones I can go to, and I know that they will pray for me. So, boy, the Gospel Words has had a lot of influence, and I'm just thankful. I'm just so thankful that we have the support team that we have.
The impact for the audience, I think if they listen to the program, if they listen to the songs that we play on the program, and listen to the messages in the songs, not just the music part of the songs, but actually listen to the words, listen to what the artists are saying, listen to what the songwriters have poured into the songs that they wrote. There will be a blessing there. There's something that meets needs, and of course we have to believe that that's the gospel. I always say on every program, the greatest songs about the greatest message, the gospel. And the gospel is a message. The gospel is a message of God's love and His redemptive love and the salvation that He offers us through what Christ did on the cross. And I think that is the kind of thing that we try to remind people of on a regular basis. Not just us, any Southern Gospel radio station that's playing good music and sharing ministries will do the same thing. But I think that's our goal, and that's what I hope people take away from it.